At Christmas dinner, my mom pulled away my plate and said, "You don't deserve a seat here." My dad laughed, handing it to my sister's boyfriend instead. I just smiled, stood up without a word, and that night I froze their bank cards, canceled their streaming, and cut off the mortgage payments I'd been covering for years. "Put that plate back." Mom's voice sliced through the soft hum of Christmas carols playing from the old radio. The turkey sat in the middle of the table, golden and perfect, surrounded by dishes I'd bought last week when I picked up groceries after work. I blinked, unsure I heard her right. "What?" Her hands trembled as she reached across the table and pulled the plate from in front of me. "You don't deserve a seat here, Noah." Everyone went silent. Even the ticking clock above the fridge stopped mattering. Dad gave a short laugh that wasn't funny. "She's right. Tyler helped put all this together. You just showed up to eat." Tyler, my sister's boyfriend, shrugged awkwardly but didn't argue when Dad handed him my plate. The laughter started again, light and cruel. Claire giggled behind her wine glass, pretending to hide it. I didn't say a word. My chest felt heavy, but my face stayed calm. I just looked at each of them. The people I'd covered bills for, loaned money to, stood by when things got bad, and saw strangers in Christmas sweaters. "I guess I'll eat somewhere else then," I said quietly. No one stopped me as I stood, grabbed my jacket, and walked out into the cold. That night, I sat alone in my dim apartment. The sound of my old fridge buzzing was the only noise. My hands shook slightly as I logged into my bank account. I froze their joint cards, canceled their streaming subscriptions, and stopped the auto payment that kept their mortgage from collapsing. I stared at the screen for a long time before whispering, "Merry Christmas." My name's Noah Carter, 27 years old. I fix cars for a living. Engines make more sense to me than people. You can hear what's broken if you listen close enough. I've been the silent one my whole life, the one who keeps the peace, pays what others can't, and smiles when it hurts. When I was 19, Dad hurt his back and couldn't work for months. I dropped out of community college and started full-time at the garage. Every paycheck since then went home. Groceries, bills, repairs, even Claire's tuition when she changed majors 3 times. They called it help, but over time it turned into expectation. I remember Mom once saying, "You never complain, Noah. You're our strong one." But what she meant was, "You're the one we can keep taking from without guilt." I've never been good with words, but silence taught me things, like how fake apologies sound softer than lies, and how sometimes love isn't real. It's just dependency dressed as family. So when I walked out that night, I wasn't walking away from dinner. I was walking away from a lifetime of being invisible. And they still didn't know. The biggest thing I'd done for them hadn't even come to light yet. The Carters, a family built on pretending. Mom, Linda Carter, 54, teaches English at the local middle school. In public, she's kind, thoughtful, adored by students. At home, she speaks in sighs and guilt. She doesn't yell. She disappoints you into submission. Dad, Mark Carter, 56. Once strong, now bitter. He's been out of work for years, claiming back pain that only acts up when bills come around. His pride is louder than his reason. Sister, Claire, 25, the star. The one who deserves better. She's beautiful, funny, always talking about her dreams while borrowing gas money from me. And then there's Tyler, her boyfriend. Lazy charm and empty promises. I've paid for his tires twice. Once he said, "You're like family, man." That line alone should have told me what I meant to them. A wallet with a pulse. Our house was small, 3 bedrooms, creaking floors, the same curtains since 2008. But somehow there was always enough money for new phones, new clothes, and weekend dinners out. No one asked how those bills were paid. They just pretended the money appeared, like Christmas lights that magically turn on every year. But I knew the truth. It wasn't magic. It was me. 2 days after Christmas, my phone lit up. "Mom, your father's card isn't working. Can you fix it?" I didn't answer. Later, Dad called. "You froze the damn account? Are you insane? We've got payments, boy. I sat on the couch, watching snow fall outside my window. You mean I had payments? I muttered. He kept yelling. You're ungrateful. After everything what? I cut in. Everything I paid for? There was silence, the kind that fills your ears until you hear your own heartbeat. Then Claire's text came through. Mom's freaking out. You better fix this before she tells Dad everything. That line made my chest tighten. Everything? That night? I couldn't sleep. I kept remembering all the small moments. Mom hiding envelopes, Dad brushing off phone calls, Claire suddenly crying when I asked simple questions about money. Something deeper was wrong, and whatever it was, I'd been financing it without even knowing. The next morning, I decided to face them, not as their helper, but as the man they'd used. When I pulled into the driveway, the house looked smaller than I remembered. Through the window, I could see Dad pacing, Mom crying, Claire on her phone. The second I stepped in, Dad's voice hit me like a storm. You think you can just stop paying the mortgage? We could lose this place. I dropped my keys on the counter. It's your house, Dad. Shouldn't you pay for it? Mom's face was pale. Don't talk like that. We needed your help. You didn't need help, I said. You needed someone to blame when things went wrong. Claire slammed her phone down. You're being dramatic, Noah. You love playing the victim. I looked at her. Her perfect hair, perfect nails, all paid for with help. I guess I'm just tired of funding your peace, I said softly. Dad's hand hit the table. Watch your mouth! I didn't flinch. I have. For years. The house went still. The only sound was the old heater rattling in the corner. Then Mom whispered to Claire, thinking I couldn't hear. He knows. I froze. My pulse jumped. Dad's head snapped toward her. Knows what? That was the first time I saw fear on her face. It was 2 years ago. I just finished a long shift at the garage, hands black with oil, back aching. Payday. I had $6,200 saved. I planned to finally buy a used truck. When I got home, I heard Mom whispering on the phone. Please don't tell Mark. He can't know it came from Noah. I didn't think much then, until 3 days later, when my savings account was empty. I confronted her gently. Did you touch my account? She broke down crying, saying it was for Claire, an emergency surgery. I believed her. 2 months later, I saw photos of Claire on Instagram smiling on a beach in Miami. That's when I stopped asking questions. Every lie since then felt like background noise. Every favor they asked came with fake gratitude and quiet guilt. That's how I learned. Love that only flows one way drains you dry. And when I heard Mom say he knows, I realized she wasn't talking about money. There was something bigger. Dad's voice boomed. What the hell does he know, Linda? Mom wouldn't look at him. I spoke first. The loan, the one from Union Credit. Her head shot up. Noah, don't, Claire whispered. Oh my God. I turned to Dad. You remember how your credit was too low to get the house refinanced, so Mom said she'd handle it? He nodded slowly. She didn't use her name, I said. She used mine. The room froze. Dad blinked. That's not possible. It's real, I cut in. A $40,000 loan in my name, payments missed for months. Collectors calling me, not you. Mom started shaking. We needed it for the house. Then why did Claire get a new car the same month? I said. Dad looked between them. You forged his name? She sobbed. We thought we could fix it before he found out. He's our son, he'd understand. I laughed softly. Understand? Mom, you ruined my credit and you didn't even bother to tell me. I leaned closer. The worst part isn't what you did. It's that you thought I'd still forgive you. The yelling didn't stop for 20 minutes. Dad shouted about betrayal. Mom screamed about pressure. Claire cried that it wasn't her fault, and I just stood there, calm, steady, quiet. For once, they were the ones falling apart. When it finally got silent, I spoke. You always said I was the quiet one, that I never spoke up, But the truth is, you never listened. Dad's jaw tightened. You think you're better than us now? No, I said softly. I just think I'm finally free. Mom stepped forward, tears streaming. Please, Noah, don't walk away like this. We can fix it. Fix it? I said. By pretending again? By blaming me next time something breaks? I opened the door. Cold air rushed in. I gave you all my silence, I said. Tonight, I give you the truth. And as I stepped outside, Claire's voice cracked behind me. He's not lying. Mom forged everything. Dad's face went white. Mom fell to her knees. I didn't turn around. I just walked away. The weeks after felt strange. Quiet, but clean. The calls came, of course. Dad, you're heartless. Mom, you're killing your family. Claire, you were right. I ignored them all. I got a new apartment closer to the shop. I started saving again. Real saving. Not the kind that disappears into someone else's pocket. I started cooking for myself. I laughed with coworkers. I slept through the night without hearing my phone buzz with another favor. Sometimes guilt tried to creep in. But I reminded myself, guilt is what they use to keep me chained. One evening, I drove past the old house. The windows were dark. The porch light was off. A for sale sign leaned sideways in the snow. I didn't feel proud. I didn't feel angry. I just felt done. It's been a year now. I send them blank Christmas cards. No message, no money, just silence in an envelope. Sometimes Claire messages me updates. Mom's working extra shifts. Dad's quieter these days. She says he watches the driveway sometimes, like he's waiting for me to come back. But I won't. I've built a small life, nothing fancy. A used truck, a one-bedroom place, a dog I named Murphy. When I fix cars now, I don't feel tired. I feel grounded. Some nights I sit by the window, coffee in hand, thinking about that Christmas. Her voice still echoes. You don't deserve a seat here. And every time I whisper back, I built my own table. Forgiveness, I've learned, isn't about letting them in again. It's about freeing yourself from what they made you carry. If you were in Noah's place, would you forgive them or would you walk away forever? Your story matters too. Maybe you've been the quiet one, the helper, the one everyone leans on until you break. This story isn't just Noah's. It's for anyone who's ever been made to feel small in their own home. If you felt his silence, like this video to show he wasn't alone, drop a comment and share what you'd do. Forgiveness or freedom? Subscribe for more stories that speak to the heart. Because sometimes, the strongest people aren't the ones who shout the loudest. They're the ones who finally walk away and never look back.